According to the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, there are 5,000 animal species worldwide considered endangered. In the U.S. alone, there are many animals on the government's endangered species list. But the good news is, some of these species are making a recovery. Wild animals near extinction, making a comeback on this edition of Unspoiled Planet. One of the great success stories in South Africa is the return of the black impala. The Bottlerskap Private Game Reserve played a crucial role in rescuing these long-legged wonders from completely disappearing from the planet. In 1991, the number of black impalas had dwindled to near extinction when a male and a female were captured to begin a special breeding program at Bottlerskap. Today, after more than 10 years of intensive breeding and a lot of patience, more than 120 black impalas are wandering the hills of Bottlerskap. The black impala is easy to spot, especially for lions, leopards, and other predators with black and white vision. Its cousin, the red impala, is harder to see and has fared better in the fight for survival. Standing only 3 feet tall and weighing up to 135 pounds, impalas live in the grassland and woodland edges where they eat tender young grass shoots in the wet season and herbs and shrubs at other times. These animals adapt quickly to environmental conditions by forming a territorial herd with a dominant male and 50 females when food is plentiful. When food is scarce, the herd will disband, but form new groups and territory when conditions are favorable again. When in danger, impalas display their incredible ability to leap as high as 12 feet into the air and cover a distance of 36 feet in one leap. Another South African success story is the survival of the bontebok. This beautiful animal is the rarest antelope in Africa. Once teetering on the verge of extinction, the return of the bontebok has been inspirational to many conservationists. In the 1830s, extensive hunting and habitat deprivation nearly wiped out these amazing creatures. In 1931, 84 survivors were moved to the Bontebok National Park, where they were protected and able to multiply. By 1961, the population had grown to 800. Eventually, some of the animals were relocated to other reserves and protected areas. Spreading the population over a larger area protects the species from extinction in the event of a disaster such as disease or flood. They live in territorial herds and survive on a diet of grasses similar to a cow. They graze during the day and grow to weigh about 125 pounds and stand about 3 feet tall at the shoulder. Today, the population of bontebok is more than 2,000. But the bontebok is listed as an endangered species and remains the rarest antelope in South Africa. In the late 1800s, the number of blue wildebeest had dropped to only 600. But today, blue wildebeests are plentiful, existing primarily in game parks and reserves in South Africa. Its appearance is a bit odd. The blue wildebeest's head and facial features seem to have characteristics of a buffalo, while its body resembles a horse. These large social creatures have dark stripes on the throat and on the sides. The blue wildebeest lives in groups of 20 to 40 and sometimes in larger herds. Although this big brute appears to be very intimidating and frightening, the blue wildebeest is not aggressive and is not particularly dangerous. When faced with conflict, the wildebeest's typical response is to run. Both males and females grow horns and a black beard of bristly hair, and they have excellent eyesight and hearing. The males are extremely territorial and maintain a range of 2 to 4 acres with a herd of females and their young. The wildebeest lives on a diet of grasses. Males grow to weigh up to 550 pounds. Females are slightly smaller, weighing in at about 400 pounds. Their average lifespan is about 21 years. These days, alligators are a common sight in Florida, Louisiana, Texas, and Georgia. But in 1967, alligators were nearly extinct and classified as an endangered species. By 1987, the alligator population had recovered, and Florida declared the alligator as the official state reptile. Today, the population is well over 1 million. Alligators are cold-blooded carnivores. The gator can take down large prey, like deer, breaking its bones with its razor-sharp teeth and tremendously strong jaws. This alligator found a fish for today's meal. Alligators eat just about anything, including lizards, fish, snakes, turtles, small mammals, birds, crustaceans, and even small alligators. They hunt for prey underwater and often swallow their meat whole. Averaging 13 feet long and 450 to 600 pounds, the American alligator is the largest reptile in North America. A long tail accounts for almost half its length. The largest alligator ever recorded in Florida was 17 feet 5 inches long. This predator glides through the water just beneath the surface, with his eyes watching out for his next meal. On land, they appear to lumber around, dragging their tail. But don't get too close. Alligators can run at 30 miles per hour for short distances. These aren't the only wild animals making a comeback. When Unspoiled Planet returns, American icons rescued from extinction. Meet the buffalo and the bald eagle. The bald eagle is an American icon, a symbol of freedom. Sadly, the number of bald eagles in the United States dwindled to near extinction, down to only 500 breeding pairs in 1963. Steps were taken to protect the eagle, and today there are more than 6,700 breeding pair. In fact, the recovery of the eagles has been such a success, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service believes they no longer require protection under the Endangered Species Act. The symbol of America's freedom has been rescued. The biggest threats to the eagles today are loss of habitat and contaminants in the environment. Although it is generally thought that bald eagles tend to avoid close contact with people, some eagles make their nests close to houses and other development. In the wild, bald eagles may live as long as 30 years, but the average lifespan is probably about 15 to 20 years. The amazing bald eagle has 7,000 feathers. They are lightweight, hollow, very strong, and extremely flexible. Feathers function to control the eagle's temperature in the heat and the cold by trapping layers of air. By changing the position of its feathers, the eagle can cool off or warm up to maintain its body temperature of 102 degrees. The bald eagle is known for its superior eyesight. An eagle's eye is so sharp it can spot a rabbit moving almost a mile away and is capable of seeing fish in the water from several hundred feet. Back in the Old West, the plains were covered with millions of buffalo. Once upon a time, there were more buffalo than people. Some estimates are as high as 60 million. European explorers were astounded at the vast number of buffalo on the plains, exclaiming, "The plains were black and appeared as if in motion." By the 1800s, the market for buffalo meat was booming. Railroad companies and the Army contracted with hunters to provide food for the troops and construction crews. Back east, there was a high demand for buffalo robes. Buffalo hides were also used as drive belts for industrial machines. The demand kept buffalo hunters like Buffalo Bill Cody very busy. He was one of the best-known hunters who claimed to have killed more than 4,000 bison in 18 months. But he was also outspoken about the careless slaughter of these animals. There were so many bison, they were being killed indiscriminately. The railroads, faced with herds blocking their lines, even offered passengers the opportunity to hunt by rail, shooting herds from the train and leaving them for dead. At one point, the U.S. Army was attempting to cut off the food supply to the Indians by eliminating the bison. They even supplied free ammo to hunters. By the time the killing spree was over, buffalo were nearly extinct. At the end of the 19th century, there were less than 1,000 buffalo in the United States. In 1894, Congress enacted strong laws to prohibit killing bison on federal preserves. Today, the buffalo population is growing. They are no longer listed as an endangered species. Some ranchers believe that the demand for buffalo meat is the key to continuing the population growth. With more than 350,000 bison roaming the U.S. again, most experts agree the return of the buffalo is a conservation success story. Brown pelicans were once listed as endangered, but have recovered. In the 1960s and 70s, the population of brown pelicans decreased because they were eating fish contaminated with DDT and other pesticides. Since DDT became unavailable, the number of brown pelicans has increased and continues to grow. There are 7 species of pelicans. The brown pelican is the only dark pelican, and also the only one that plunges from the air into the water to catch its food. It is found in coastal areas along the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, as well as the Gulf of Mexico. They are dark, bulky birds, about 4 feet long, and weigh up to 10 pounds. Each day, an adult pelican eats about 4 pounds of fish. Brown pelicans, buffalo, black impalas, bontebocks, blue wildebeests, bald eagles, and alligators are just some of the fortunate species to recover from endangerment. But there are many others that are still at serious risk. Elephants, the largest living land mammal. They spend nearly 16 hours a day eating and grow to about 13,000 pounds and 18 to 21 feet long. Elephants are also known as pachyderms. They can live in nearly any habitat, providing adequate quantities of food and water, but they prefer areas of plentiful grass. At this private game park in South Africa, tourists are allowed a personal encounter with these pachyderms. They seem to enjoy the company and the steady supply of snacks they bring with them. The elephant's most remarkable and unique feature is its muscular trunk. With 2 finger-like structures at its tip, an elephant can use its trunk to reach as high as 23 feet and perform multiple tasks. With its trunk, the elephant can smell things, hold things, signal others, gather food, siphon water, or dig a hole. The trunk is capable of performing delicate movements, such as picking berries or caressing a companion, as well as powerful motions, capable of tearing down trees or fighting. Classified as an endangered species, there are roughly 500,000 elephants alive today, mostly in Africa. The second largest land mammal next to the elephant is the rhinoceros. They can weigh up to 8,000 pounds and stand as tall as 6 feet. The rhinoceros is known for its highly prized horn. Some species have 1 horn, others have 2. While the rhino horn trade is illegal, they are still popular targets for poachers. The horns are sought after as status symbols, medicinal remedies, and even aphrodisiacs. Growing to lengths up to 5 feet, the rhino's horn is its chief defense weapon. The males mark their territory and will use their horn and their powerful body to defend it. Today, these rhinos are going on at it. Like heavyweight champions, these fighters can go horn to horn for hours. There are a few species of rhinos. These are white rhinos, but as you can see, they really aren't white. White rhinos have terrible eyesight, but a keen sense of smell. The population of white rhinos is only about 12,000. Of all the rhinos, these are the least endangered. The black howler monkey is the largest monkey in Belize and one of the largest in the Americas. It is also the loudest animal in the forest, hence the name howler. Their calls are so loud they can be heard 3 miles away. The male howler has an oversized throat and voice box, giving him the ability to call more loudly than any other animal. Experts estimate there are about 100,000 howler monkeys alive today. In Belize, they call this monkey a baboon. There is a strong population of these primates in the rainforest, but in most places, the howler monkey is endangered. These monkeys are highly social, living in small groups called troops. A troop consists of 4 to 8 baboons, usually 1 or 2 males, the rest females. They are vegetarians living in lowland forests where they eat fruit, leaves, and flowers. When fully grown, they are not very big, weighing 15 pounds and standing 2 feet tall with a 30-inch tail. Their lifespan is about 20 years. Black howler monkeys are territorial. Each troop has its own territory in which it feeds and lives. The size of the territory ranges from 3 to 25 acres, depending on the size of the troop. They defend their territory from other troops by howling at them with their loud voices. Here in the dwindling Belizean rainforest the howler monkey calls home, a conservation group has set aside protected land along the Belize River for the howler. This bird with an enormous bill is the jabiru stork. Although the population of storks in Belize is the strongest for all of Central America, the jabiru is extremely rare. Standing 5 feet tall with a wingspan of 8 feet, this is one of the largest flying birds in the Western Hemisphere. In Belize, the locals call this bird Turk or flamingo. With its heavy bill, about 12 inches long, the jabiru catches fish, amphibians, reptiles, insects, and small mammals. These big birds only stay in Belize from November to June. They nest at the top of very tall trees in the savanna. Savannas typically have extended dry and wet seasons, are fire dependent, and are home to many evolving plants, animals, and insects. Clearing and drainage for agriculture and development has put this habitat at risk, and the species that call it home are also at risk too. Each year, the female jabiru lays 2 to 4 eggs. Both male and female take turns incubating the eggs. When the rainy season starts, they fly north to Mexico, sometimes ending up in Texas. The tapir, also known as the mountain cow in Belize. They live to be 25 years old and grow to 6 feet long, weighing between 300 and 500 pounds. Because of their odd appearance, tapirs are often mistaken for pigs and anteaters, but they are actually related to the same family as horses and rhinos. There are 4 species of tapir, and they are all endangered. They are sought after for their meat and their hide. Tapirs are solitary animals that live in the forest and are most active at night. They roam large territories, using their short and flexible snout to pick fruit, leaves, and other vegetation. They are also good swimmers and like to spend time in rivers and lakes. When startled or threatened, tapirs usually run to water for refuge. At first glance, they appear to be slow, even slothful. But actually, tapirs are quite fast and agile and good climbers. Known as the tiger cat, the margay is a small nocturnal cat that spends most of its life in the trees of the tropical forests. Margays are excellent climbers, well adapted to the forest. They have big eyes and only weigh 20 pounds. When fully grown, they are 2 feet long with an 18-inch tail. If you travel to Belize, you probably won't see one of these endangered cats unless you go to the zoo. Some reports estimate there are fewer than 100 left in the world. The actual number of margays living in Central America is unknown, but Belize seems to have one of the strongest populations. They prefer solitude in remote areas of the forest, which makes them hard to find. When hungry, the margay hunts down rats, squirrels, possums, monkeys, and birds. Another small cat roaming Central America is the ocelot. The name ocelot comes from a Mexican Aztec word meaning field tiger. This cat is endangered for its beautiful and highly prized fur. The worldwide population of ocelots is roughly 800,000 to 1.5 million. Ocelots are about twice the size of an average house cat, 3 feet long, with a 15-inch tail. They weigh 35 pounds. In Belize, ocelots live in a variety of habitats, from dry scrub to the dense forests. By day, the ocelot spends its time in the trees. By night, in the cover of darkness, they hunt on the ground. They have excellent vision and hearing. With speed and agility, the ocelot hunts down fish, frogs, turtles, birds, and insects. Bottlenose dolphins are listed as vulnerable and are protected by U.S. and international laws. Dolphins are actually a species of whale. They are mammals, breathing air through their lungs, and can hold their breath for 5 to 8 minutes at a time. They are highly intelligent and can sleep in a semi-alert state by resting one side of their brain at a time. Dolphins usually live to about 20 years, but have been known to live for about 40. They travel together in groups called pods. The size of a pod varies from about 2 to 15. Dolphins are active most of the day and night. They are known for being very social and playful. They love to leap out of the water. Some dolphins have been seen jumping as high as 16 feet. They eat every day and like to feed on fish, squid, and shrimp. Dolphins usually feed near the surface and sometimes follow fishing boats in hopes of picking up a meal. They do not chew their food, but prefer to swallow fish whole, head first, so the spines of the fish won't catch in their throats. Preserving the wonders of wildlife is a worthy endeavor, but not without controversy. Some say laws designed to protect animals have had unintended consequences, such as restricting much-needed water to irrigated farmland areas. Balancing the needs of people and wildlife is sure to be a continuing debate on this unspoiled planet.